Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the Jacksonville Dolphins roster and their schedule for Season 1 of our upcoming FCS Dynasty in NCAA Football 2006. Well, let's get right into it and take a look at the offense for the Dolphins. Player number 1, Michael Hines, quarterback, athletic, 6'1", 192. Halfback, Jukes McGee, number 1. Another athletic player for the Dolphins. Fullback Tyler Matthews, he's a raw player. He'll be good at blocking, running, catching. Wide receiver Mr. Highlight 84, athletic wide receiver. He will be our kick and punt returner for the Dolphins. Deshaun Harris, another wide receiver, number 11, athletic. And Jermaine Marshall, another wide receiver, raw talent. Tight end Christian Hart, smart tight end. He's going to be catching a lot of passes, not a whole lot of drops. He'll be good at blocking as well. He's 6'5", 255 pounds. And that is it for the offense. And other than having no linemen on the offense, they are pretty stacked, I think. They got 3 wide receivers, a tight end, fullback, halfback. They have every position but the O-line. But I think with an athletic quarterback, it's not really going to matter too much. You got a fast quarterback and halfback. You got 2 fast wide receivers. And your fullback can do anything. You got a wide receiver that can pretty much do it all. He can block, he can catch. Pretty decent awareness as well. And you got a tight end. So this offense is going to be really fun to watch. There's not really going to be a battle for anything on the Dolphins. There might be a battle for the number 2 wide receiver spot behind Mr. Highlight. But other than that, I look forward to watching this offense play. But enough about the offense, let's take a look at the Dolphins' defense for this coming season. They have an outside linebacker, Zane Williams. He's 6'4", 235 pounds, and a raw talent. A cornerback, Allen Davidson, 6'2", 180 pounds, smart, so he'll be pretty good in coverage. Free safety, Malik Bean, number 8, 6'2", 214, raw talent, and a strong safety, Marcus Pedersen. And Marvin Joseph is the head coach of the Jacksonville Dolphins. This is our 2nd subscriber coach in this dynasty. Let's talk about the defense for a little bit. I think their outside linebacker, having a raw talent build, is going to help them out in pass coverage and run stopping. They have a smart corner. He's not the fastest, but he can catch, and he's got great awareness, so he'll know where the ball is at all times. I think this team having 2 safeties is really going to help out. You're not going to get a lot of passing yards against them. You might be able to run the ball because their only weakness on this team is their offensive line and their defensive line. They don't have any defensive linemen to help out in the run game. So the Dolphins are going to have to rely on Zane Williams to really try to control the offense and stop the run game for each squad. But their secondary is solid. Their offense seems pretty legit. And it's kind of scary with all those weapons. But the Dolphins are one of the more interesting teams to watch in this dynasty. And I think it's going to be really fun for them in year 1. But let's go ahead and take a look at who they will be facing in the first season of our FCS dynasty. The Dolphins are playing out of the SEC Football Conference. And game 1 they will be taking on the Northwestern State Demons out of the Sun Belt Conference. Game 2, another Sun Belt foe, Florida International, the Golden Panthers. And Game 3, they start their SEC Conference play against the Tennessee State Tigers. Game 4, they finally have an away matchup. This is against the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils, and that is where Jerry Rice went to college. Game 5, they travel to Texas to take on Texas Southern. Game 6, they host the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions. I believe I called them Arkansas State Pine Bluff in the conference reveal video for the SEC. I was a little bit out of it on NyQuil, but that's neither here nor there. Game 7, they host the Elkhorn State Braves. That's where Steve Air McNair went to college. Game 8, another non-conference matchup, this time against the number 21 ranked Florida Atlantic Owls out of the Sun Belt. Game 9, we got a battle of the Jacksonvilles as the Jacksonville Dolphins travel to take on the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. I know it's not Jacksonville, Florida. Don't question me about it. Just let it happen. They're out of the Conference USA. Game 10, they travel to Alabama to take on the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Game 11, they travel once again, this time to take on Prairie View A&M. And game number 12, the final game of the season, we host the Alabama State Hornets, and that is the final SEC game of the season as well. Looking at this schedule, I think the toughest game is going to be against Florida Atlantic. I think the FIU game is going to be pretty tough, but I think the Jacksonville Dolphins will prevail because of their offense and just how dominant I believe it's going to be with all of those weapons. And if you take a look at this schedule, this is our second team in our dynasty that does not have a subscriber team on their schedule. Now, that is probably because Jacksonville is the sole subscriber team in the SEC, just as the Dayton Flyers are the only team in the Big Ten. And it's pretty interesting, so I will be playing every game for the Dayton Flyers and the Jacksonville Dolphins. But back to the Dolphins, my prediction for year one, I believe the Dolphins will probably win 11 or 12 games. With a minimum, I'm putting a minimum of 10 on this season, just because Florida International and Florida Atlantic might be two tough games for the Dolphins. But at least 10 wins is my prediction for the year. Let me know what you guys think the Dolphins are going to do this season. And let me know what you guys think of the Jacksonville Dolphins roster. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Let's see, today is Saturday. I'll see you guys Monday with some more Houston Texans franchise as we take on David Carr and the Chicago Bears. But until then, I will see you guys down in the comments section below. Take it easy.